This self-published coloring book was just released about 2 months ago, and with only around 50 reviews, it's already bringing in over $50,000 a month in revenue. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how self-publishers are creating these 4, 5, and even 6-figure coloring books on Amazon KDP. We'll look at their marketing strategies, how they're getting reviews, and what makes these books sell like crazy. And I'm going to show you how you can apply these same strategies and methods into your own self-publishing business. And at the end, I'll show you how you can create coloring books just like these ones with a brand new AI tool that can take any coloring book idea you have and in minutes turn it into a fully illustrated, ready to publish Amazon KDP coloring book. And quick disclaimer before we start, all the numbers I mentioned in this video are revenue estimates. I don't know these publishers personally, but I'll be using revenue estimation tools that are generally pretty accurate to give you guys the most realistic numbers possible. Let's jump in. Okay, so as we break down what exactly is making this specific self-published coloring book sell so well, I'm going to go over each of the things we're going to cover today. So we're going to be covering why it's in a winning niche, why the book cover is winning, how they're getting reviews, why the description is good. We're going to be going over the price, keywords, A+ content, and then even their external marketing on Instagram and TikTok. And just as a quick side note for you guys, this is going to be one of those videos you might want to watch 2 or 3 times because there might be something that you missed the first time you watch this through that you pick up on the next watch through. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I have the listing pulled up right here for the coloring book we're going over. And as you guys can see, like I mentioned in the intro, it's making over $53,000 a month in revenue. And it's not even peak season yet. Peak season is really going to be mid-November to early December when people are really buying gifts for Christmas. So this book is only getting started and it's already doing incredibly well. So as you guys can see by this little screen right here, it's only been up for around 2 months now. And it has a BSR of 267. And what that means is basically the closer the BSR goes to 0, the higher it's being ranked. So obviously the first, if the BSR was 1, it would be the best-selling book on all of Amazon. And there are actually millions of books published on Amazon, so 267 is incredibly high. And as you guys can see, this book started off here, and then as you guys can see, over the past month, it's really climbed up in the bestseller rank, and as it's been selling more and more copies every day. Now, one thing I'd like to mention about this book is that the seller of this book is definitely like a professional level self-publisher. They've been publishing books for a long time. As you can see, many of their books are bringing in hundreds of dollars a day, all in a very similar niche. They have a very well-established social media brand, so obviously they're able to sell a ton of books. And this isn't even the number 1 coloring book brand on Amazon. There's actually a couple others that sell more than this one. This is just the brand I'm going over as a case study today. So let's just do a quick listing analysis of why their book is selling well. So we'll go over why it's in a winning niche. So the reason we can tell this is a winning niche is because how it's positioned itself in the market. So as we can see here, it's in the niche of fall, Halloween, and Christmas designs coloring book. So as you guys know, Q4 is the biggest time of the year for coloring books and really for every type of product on Amazon. And it's actually hitting all 3 themes of Q4. It's hitting fall, Halloween, and Christmas, the biggest themes of this time of year. So it's positioning itself as basically like the master Q4 book. And the reason people are buying this book is the target audience of this book is mostly younger women buying this from TikTok or from Amazon. And they're just looking for a coloring book they can color every other day for the next 3 months, or at least until like the holiday season is over. And so because of that, and because they've put these keywords in their title, they've really positioned themselves to gain a lot of sales this Q4. So they definitely have a winning niche. Then if we look at the book cover, it's honestly, I've seen better book covers for this type of coloring book. It's not bad. It's actually really, really good. And this is definitely a professional level coloring book cover, but it is very simple. It's not very flashy. There's not a lot of bold colors. It's really just 1 or 3 colors, as we can see. It's the tan background, a little bit of red accents on some of these illustrations, and then kind of like an olive green, and then kind of like a pumpkin-y orange. So really it's just 3 or 4 colors. None of those are super bright and bold. So cover wise, it's pretty good. It's definitely professional level. This will definitely beat out at least like 60 or 70% of the other covers on Amazon, but it's not really that complicated. This just goes to show how even a simple cover like this can bring in easily over $1,000 a day in revenue. If you look at the back cover, we can also see that this seller definitely knows their audience based on the copy that they've written. So they obviously know their main audience is young women. So as we can see, it says, for every girl girl who loves the Burr months, and then it has some like funny copy right here. And this was actually likely written with the ChatGPT. There's like a little bit of a dash right there. You can usually tell if something with ChatGPT was like a dash in the writing. Obviously, that's not always true, but it's a pretty good way to tell. And yeah, it's definitely looking like a really, really solid cover. Now for the reviews. Reviews, book cover, and niche are the three most important things when it comes to your KDP book. And as we can see, it has over 54 reviews, which means it's a competitive, and 54 reviews is a very competitive number for reviews. Obviously, they are actively getting more. I actually checked this listing a couple days ago. They're at 49, and then now they're at 54. So obviously, they're gaining reviews every single day. I'm guessing likely most of them are coming from organic sales or from their social media audience, although it is possible they might be using a review gathering website as well. And as you can see, the review quality of the reviews is very high. We have people attaching videos and images of the book. So if someone checks the reviews on this book, they're much more likely to convert because of the high quality reviews they're getting. And that's just because their product is high quality. If your product is high quality, people will leave higher quality reviews. So I would guess that they're likely going to try to push maybe 200, even 300 reviews by the end of the season as people order more copies and as they try to push their book to get more reviews. And yeah, they're definitely going to be getting a lot of reviews on this book. And this is one of the main reasons I bet you this book is selling very well. There are tons and tons of self-publishers every day publishing new books to Amazon, but most publishers can't seem to get that many reviews. And that's what's really separating this book apart from the competition. Now let's check the description. The description is very good. So it's kind of just like a normal description. It describes the product, the book details, and then it even has a little note here. But the one thing that they're missing is a add to cart or buy now call to action. So instead of having the call to action, check out my other books, my Cozy Girl series, which isn't a bad call to action because it's getting the person to look at what other products they have. A better call to action would just be to scroll up and press buy now. The reason this isn't the best call to action is because after someone's already read your entire description, gone through your product page, they're much more likely to buy your book. And when you're diverting their attention over to other products instead of just closing them on the sale now, you're slightly lowering the likelihood of them buying this particular product. But obviously this person is selling a lot more books than I am, so you know, who am I to criticize? But definitely if I were to rewrite the copy of this description, I would add a buy now call to action over their check out my other books call to action. So the description is pretty good. Let's check out the price. The price is good, $9.99. That's the industry standard for coloring books. It's a good balance between kind of like a premium price and it being cheap enough to sell en masse. So good price. And then title keywords. So as we went over before, they are definitely positioning themselves well in the market, covering all three of the major themes for the holidays. They're also targeting the very profitable bold and easy coloring book keyword. And then also they're specifying it's for adults and teens who are the main buyers of this kind of book. And then they're even including some other keywords like hygge and relaxation, which are two keywords I've seen a lot of coloring book authors use as they're just pretty popular keywords for this target audience. So they definitely did a very good job putting keywords in their title and doing Amazon SEO optimization. They didn't overstuff their title with keywords. It's not like every other word in here is a keyword. And they also didn't underdo it. They definitely put in a good balance and ratio of just like normal words to keywords. So it's looking really, really good. Then let's go over the A+ content that they have. And A+ content, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically this kind of artwork that the publisher can put on their product listing. And this actually increases the conversion rate because it gives your potential customers something to look at as they go through your product page. It increases the perceived value of your product. And it also just gives the customer an idea of what's actually inside of the book. So as you can see, we have their coloring pages on display. And actually these coloring pages, they're very high quality, but they're not anything you couldn't make with AI. AI could very easily create these kinds of artwork in seconds using litpal.ai. So the artwork is good and the A+ content is good. Definitely going to help convert a few more sales that land on this listing. And then now we're going to take a look at the external marketing they're doing for their books and their book brand. So I went ahead and before I started recording this video, I looked them up on Instagram and TikTok. And as you can see, their Instagram has over 4,000 followers and their TikTok has over 12,000 followers. So not really like a crazy amount of followers. There's other brands that have, I think, over like 100,000 followers on these platforms. So this isn't even that big of a social media presence. Obviously, it's more than pretty much most self-publishers, but comparing this to other TikTok accounts, it's actually not that many followers. If you look at how many views they're getting on TikTok, they're really only getting a modest amount of views. But yeah, no, they're definitely posting consistently, getting thousands of views per video. So obviously this is going to be the main driver of what's driving their sales on Amazon. Obviously, Amazon will be bringing them a lot of sales just from Amazon search and from Amazon ads, but this is definitely helping them out and getting more sales. And as we can see by their earliest videos, this is just most likely an individual putting these videos together in their own house. In some of their earliest videos, you can see that the production quality isn't like super great. This isn't a massive company making these books. It's just a person who probably went onto Canva and made these books and then created this brand. Obviously, again, I don't know this person personally, but if I had to guess, that would be what I would assume. So yeah, they're getting a lot of views from TikTok. And then on Instagram, their reels are performing a little bit similar. Their views are slightly better on TikTok than on Instagram, but that's kind of normal. TikTok does give the highest amount of views of all the platforms for reels, and looks like they are getting pretty good engagement on their posts. And so they're definitely seeing sales from Instagram as well. We also see that they're actually tagging people who are buying their books and using the art to like create their own and coloring in the pages, as we can see in their story, which is a great way of using like customer-led marketing. So this is really, really great. And I bet you that this image right here might actually be in this book right here. So yeah, their external marketing is incredibly high quality. And yeah, that's why they're making so many sales. KDP is really just like a math problem, guys. If you can master the cover, master the title, master the niche, do external marketing, get reviews, optimize your product listing, and of course, make a high quality book, you will get sales. Now, obviously, I can't guarantee anything. It's all up to you to put in the effort, put in the work, obviously, as this person has. And also, guys, this person is selling a ton more books than I am, like 1,000 times more books than I am. So I have a lot to learn from this as well. But if you guys are really enjoying these kind of case study style videos, let me know in the comments below, and I'll maybe make some more videos where I review other people's books and try to gain insight. Now let's try creating our own version of this coloring book using AI and publishing it to Amazon KDP. So to create our own version of this book, what we're going to do is we're going to head to a website called litpal.ai. And then once we've got some credits, we're going to head over to the dashboard. And then from inside the dashboard, we're going to press the coloring book generator. And guys, litpal is a tool that can take any coloring book idea you have and in really less than like 4 minutes, create a fully illustrated coloring book you can publish to Amazon KDP. So I'm just going to call this book Fall, Halloween, and Christmas. So I'm just going to go ahead and write a little prompt here, basically describing what I want inside my coloring book. And then I'm going to increase the number of pages to 40 pages. And as we saw here with this person's book, I'm guessing they likely have between 40 and 50 designs. As you can see, they have 108 pages, and they're also including 1 page in between every illustration. So that way the markers don't bleed through. So there are blank pages inside this book. So I would assume they're probably around 40 to 50 coloring illustrations. And obviously you can create all these illustrations very quickly with litpal. So once I have put in my prompt and what I want for my coloring book, I'm just going to turn the content visibility onto private, and then I'm going to press generate coloring book. And in just a few minutes, the entire coloring book will be illustrated for us and all 40 pages will be ready. And just like that, guys, in only about 3 or so minutes, all 40 pages have been generated for us. Let's go press view. And just like that, guys, it's created a very, very high quality holidays themed coloring book. And actually, I want to just talk about these images. This image literally looks almost exactly like the images we saw in this coloring book. As you can see, they're very simple illustrations. In fact, it's possible that these were created by AI. There's no real way to confirm. This could have been illustrated by a human, but it's possible that it was generated by AI. And yeah, guys, the image quality on these illustrations is incredibly high. As we can see, it's featuring different scenes from the main holidays like Christmas, Halloween. We even got some fall themed scenes in here. And yeah, just the overall quality of these images is incredibly high. I actually really like this scene right here. Yeah. And this entire book was created in literally, as you guys saw, it took me like a minute to create that entire book. All I did was write out the prompt and it gave me all of these high quality images for our coloring book. So yeah, very, very proud of how this one is coming out. And let's go ahead and format the interior manuscript for our book. So guys, in the description of this video, I've actually linked this free Canva templates document that I created for you guys to use 100% for free. Basically, it has a bunch of templates for books that you can use inside of Canva to create and sell on Amazon KDP. So I'm going to go ahead and press the AI coloring book manuscript template. I'll just open that in a new tab. And then I'm just going to press File in the top left corner, and then I'm going to press Make a Copy. Now that I have a copy of the coloring book created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split screen my entire screen. I'll have LitPal on the left side, and then I'll put CANVA on the right side. And all I'm going to do is press Download Page, and then I'm going to drag that file over into here. And if I just click it, it'll automatically format right into our manuscript template. Then I'm just going to continue this process for every single page up until I finish downloading all the images and putting them into the Canva document. And guys, this Canva template really saves you a ton of time, because if you had to format this template by yourself, it could take you a lot more time. So I've just gone ahead and created this template for you, and you're 100% free to use it using the link in the description. And just like that, guys, after only a few minutes of dragging and dropping these images into the template, we actually have our entire book fully formatted and ready for KDP. And just again, guys, I want to go over, look at how high quality these images are looking. I'm excited to finish up this KDP coloring book, and now let's head into how we're actually going to create the high selling cover for this book. All right, so guys, now that we've finished the interior for our coloring book's manuscript, what we're going to do is we have to create a coloring book cover, because that's actually one of the most important parts of creating a profitable coloring book on Amazon KDP. So we're going to go back into the Canva templates document, and then we're going to click on the coloring book cover template. That'll just open up in a new tab. And then we're going to press File in the top left corner, and then we're going to press Make a Copy. And then after we've made a copy of this document, what we're going to do is we actually have to create the cover art for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Amazon, and then I'm going to try looking for my competitor's book. And as you can see, it's just right here. Then I'm going to press Save Image As. I'm just going to take their cover basically. Then I'm just going to head back into litpal.ai, and then I'm going to go over to the image editor tool right here. Then I'm going to drag and drop this image right here. And now I'm going to write a prompt basically asking it to remix this cover for our book. And just like that, guys, I've written out this entire prompt basically asking it to remix the cover. Then under art style, I'm going to press no specific style. And then under content visibility, I'll just turn this on to private. And then I'll just press edit image. And so guys, in just like a minute, our cover has been finished. I'm just going to press download right here. And then I'm going to head back to our template. I'm just going to drag it here. And then I'm just going to spend the next 10 or so minutes creating a really nice looking cover, and I'll be right back. And so guys, after only about like 10 minutes of actually trying to make this cover, I have a pretty awesome looking coloring book cover I can go ahead and publish to Amazon KDP. Again, guys, I just want to take a minute. Look at how high quality these illustrations are that we have inside of the coloring book. And overall, I'm really liking how this cover turned out. So let's go ahead and publish our book to KDP now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Amazon KDP's website, and it's 100% free to join. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to press create new title or series, and I'm just going to press paperback. And then inside this form, I'm just going to fill out the book title, the subtitle. I'm going to upload the files for our cover and our manuscript and our interior. And I'm putting my author name, description, and a whole bunch of other information. And then after Amazon reviews this, in a few days, my book will be live and for sale on Amazon, and people could buy it from around the world. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's case study and tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to go ahead and check out litpal.ai. It's the top link in the description. It is the fastest AI coloring book generator designed for Amazon KDP. I also have plenty of other tutorials on my channel going over litpal's other features if you want to check those out too. I hope you've gained some valuable insights from this case study that you can implement inside of your Amazon KDP business. And as always, guys, stay publishing.